Dinosaurs are back in media. And that's the reason why I do something I never thought I will do. A review video. And it's all about the new Netflix miniseries, The Dinosaurs. First of all, I have to say, I'm a 90s child. I grew up with the Walking With series. So, my standards are high. I'm always happy if there is a new paleo media coming out. But I totally missed that Netflix releases a new dinosaur documentary. It was actually an old friend who told me that they do so. The first of the in total 4 episodes is called Rise. It sets high expectations because narrator Morgan Freeman says that we will see the story of the dinosaurs as we never have seen before. Yeah, we'll see. So first it goes back in time to the Jurassic period. I think there have been other dino documentaries starting there. But what I have never seen before in paleo media are some of the presented species. They show us Rhynchosaurus, Luperosuchus, Marasuchus, Procompsognathus, Liliensternus and other animals. I have a problem with the classification terms which are used. A paleo geek like me wishes to know that Luperosuchus belongs to the Pseudosuchia, belonging to the group of Archosauria. In this series, they are just called ancient reptiles. Dinosaurs, they are also reptiles like pterosaurs. This term, for me, it's too superficial. Speaking of pterosaurs, there were Dimorphodon-like pterosaurs shown. They were doing mating dances. What was cool? But this species was just called pterosaurs. What is correct, but it's again very superficial. As far as I can tell, the animals shown in the series, they are based on the latest scientific findings. But I think the designs, they are a bit boring. Some animals have feathers, some have spikes, but if you compare the animals in this series with animals from other actual paleo series, they are boring. For example, in Prehistoric Planet there is the Mononychus. There, the design of the Mononychus is very close to the look of a barn owl. And honestly, for me, this looks great. So here in this series, the designs of the animals, it's more uncreative. At the end of the first episode of this series, Liliensternus appears. It has no feathers, but like Dilophosaurus, it has 2 crests on its skull. The anatomy of the skull of Liliensternus is not well known due to lack of fossil evidence, but phylogenetically it is placed between Silophysis and Dilophosaurus. So artistic freedom allows to put a crest on Liliensternus' head to look more cool. One thing I thought is also very cool, designing wise, is at the beginning. There is a scene with 2 Pachycephalosaurus, a younger and an older bull. And by the way, I am not a native English speaking person. I'm sure you know that and you hear that, but I think Pachycephalosaurus was wrongly pronounced in the series. They called them something like Pachycephalosaurus and not Pachycephalosaurus. This is detail, so let's go back to the thing I want to say about the design of Pachycephalosaurus. Perhaps it's hazard or just my imagination. I think The spikes on the head of the younger Pachycephalosaurus are longer than the spikes of the older Pachycephalosaurus. This reminds me of an article I once read from Mark B. Goodwin and Jack Horner about Dracorex, Pachycephalosaurus and Stygimoloch. They say that these three species are actually just one species. The morphological differences of the skull is due to age differences. So younger animals, they have longer spikes and thinner skull bones than older animals. So perhaps Steven Spielberg, who is an executive producer of this series, asked Jack Horner as a scientific reference, like he did for his Jurassic Park movies. And so, this difference in the design of the Pachycephalosaurus found its way into the series. Or perhaps it's really just my imagination, I don't know. Another species I was very happy to see was the Tanystropheus, a long-necked marine reptile. But we just saw the head and the neck of it. It would have been cool to see this animal in its entire body, like we saw it in the Sea Monsters documentary of the Walking with Dinosaurs series. So, as a summary and an overall feeling, as I said, I wish to have a dinosaur documentary like Walking with Dinosaurs or Walking with Monsters or Walking with Beasts. As if you would go to the wilderness and film the animals there live. You see real animals with natural behavior. And in this first episode, the story was more emotionally driven. I had the impression that some animals, they are just there to play the monster, the villain, like Tanystropheus or the ancient reptiles named Luperosuchus. It wasn't like that these animals, they did something impossible, but the series can't catch the feeling of the Walking With series. I don't know what they could do to catch this feeling. Perhaps it's just nostalgia speaking out of me, but I think as a child, I wouldn't rewatch the series again and again and again like I did with the Walking With series. But don't get me wrong. In general, I like the first episode and I'm looking forward to watch the whole series. If you're interested what I think about the next episodes of this series, stay tuned because the reviews, they will come soon.